Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I have not been on YouTube for a while, and something I'm going to talk to you this time is different. It is something that you don't want to hear from me. You don't want to hear from me. You probably hate. You're probably going to hate. You're going to unsubscribe to this channel. You're going to hate me. You're going to say, "Oh, you're a loser because you decided to do this." No, no, I don't really care what you guys think anymore. I've been a failure all my life and I'll continue to be a failure, but I'm not giving up with what my plan is. So, we're going to start off saying I told you guys that I got shot at when I lived in Montebello, or the home got shot at. Not me per se. So we moved and now we're here where we're at in this new home, which you kind of got a glimpse of it, and you're gonna get more glimpses of more things in the future, but that's not for now. So I told you that I moved to the Inland Empire, which is 32 miles, about 20 to 30 miles away from LA. So because I lived in Montebello, which is like a couple of miles away, which is 20, about 20. So let me explain. So my whole life I've been going to church, saying where I was like, oh, I'm a believer. I'm 100% believer. But then there's people that came into my world and said, oh, um, don't believe in God. Don't believe in God. You know that there's no God because look, you can't. There's no way of proving that there's God. There's nothing, and that's just how it was. It was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to church still, but I'm not going to um, follow any of these people. Like when they say, "Oh," um, like I told you that there was pastors that used to fail. They used to be high at the top of their at the top with a lot of money, and they still fail. And and that's where I was like, "Oh, all these." I don't want to go to church anymore. These people suck. These people are 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 failing. The failures. Look, they want to call themselves pastors, and look at that. They're raping kids, or they're cheating on their wife, or they're robbing the church, asking for more money, which is something that many churches do. That they ask you for money. They say, "Give me money for the bills." Or supposedly, some people say, "Give me money for the bills," but then they they use it for their own benefit. So that is where I was, where I was like, yeah, I'm going to church. I don't really care much about it. I don't really want to follow anything. I don't care about anything. And this is something you guys can relate to, where you say, yeah, why is it that you believe in a book, or you believe in God when you never seen him? You don't know what he looks like. People are saying he's a white man in a robe and sandals. Yeah, and some people can say, "Oh, um, look at the world," and they used to compare, oh, godly stuff with politics. They said, "Oh, all Christians are all Republicans, or all Christians are all this," and and I do have to say I don't care about politics enough to say, oh, uh, I'm not gonna take it the same way I used to take it. I'm just gonna live my life and follow one path. So like I said, I I moved to the Inland Empire, which is where I'm at right now. Hopefully this video sounds good, because every time I create this video it just sounds horrible. It sounds very bad, muffled, and I don't get why it does that. But like I said, I moved to the Inland Empire. I started going to this church again. I just said I'm gonna attend a church, because I said uh, because as a single, I mean as a person that is not married yet, or has a girlfriend, because I haven't had one in a while, which I had one, but it that's for another story, right? I'm gonna tell you what happened, why I didn't decide to continue with what I had. Because then some of you can say, oh, if you have a girlfriend, then you're good, you're set to go. Yeah, maybe, but for me, I didn't feel it that way. I didn't say, oh, just because I have a girlfriend, that's what I want. No, because in high school that was the same way too, where I said, I'm gonna be leaving high school, and I don't want to, I don't want to leave high school without having a girlfriend like every other student at the high school had. I mean, not every other student, but some of the students said, "Oh, I'm gonna have a girlfriend in high school. I'm gonna date her, then I'm gonna marry her, and she's gonna be my other half, and she's gonna be the person to guide me through whatever I need to do, and we're gonna live the life that we want to live." And let me explain another reason why I decided I didn't want to go to church anymore for a while, which I recently went back because I said I have nothing in life. I already have, because there's some of us, like I told you about this guy named Zach Cox from Zach Cox TV or Zach Cox HD, which is ZAX. No, it's ZACCOX. So again, ZACCOX TV or ZACCOX HD or TV2 or whatever, something like that. And you guys probably have seen him where he plays all kinds of Grand Theft Auto crap, and it's just repetitive stuff that he's always talked about, repetitive stuff. So I saw his life, and I said he has a house, because that was me in high school. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get on YouTube and I'm gonna follow Zach Cox because I saw him like a couple of times, and then he did his house tour, and his he did his house tour, he did his lavish life, and showed, he's like, I have a house, I have the cars that I want, I have my own dog, I have money, I have a girlfriend, and what else do you want? And that's something that you do have to say. What more do you want? Like, you have the money, you have the cars, you have your house paid off, or you're paying off your house, you have a girlfriend, and that was me. Like, what more do you want? So I said, I want to emulate him. I want to follow everything that he's doing. I want to be the next Zach Cox, where I don't have to work my butt off for the rest of my life and be in an endless loop job where it's going to be, because life here in California sucks, but I don't want to live in an endless loop where it's just like I work at a Walmart or I work at a Target and say, "Oh, I make this amount of money, but I can't buy a house, or I can't buy anything." So I said, let me just do YouTube for fun. Then when I saw him making money, I said, I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna push it. And I didn't really I was really lost at that time, where I said, I'm gonna have I'm gonna have this channel, I'm gonna focus on this channel, I'm gonna focus on that channel, and that's why I never really took off, because I'm focusing on one channel, on another, and so forth, until I have multiple revenues of money. But it never came, because I just decided I was doing too much. I was doing one video here, one video on this channel, that channel, and it just like it got all um it got all I couldn't take it in. So recently I said, I have to go to church. I have to do something with my life. I can't just um I can't be living this life like I could have the nicest house on the block, or I can have the nicest car. I can have everything, because I saw how Zach went down the hill, went downhill. He says he had a girlfriend. I saw his girlfriend in videos, but then after was he said he gave most of his life, or some of his life, to be with her. Like, you spend 8 years trying, or let's say you spend 5 years trying to have working with your girlfriend, saying, I want I want to spend my life with you, and make it go like that, widening the time. But then after that, the door's closed, and it's like, I spent 5 years with you, and I thought you were gonna be my girlfriend, and I thought uh, you were gonna be the other half. You were gonna be my other half, and he said, and what was scary, that freaked me out, and I'm not saying scary that I'm scared, oh my gosh, I'm so frightened. No, it freaked me out when he said, I have my house, I have cars, I have my dog, I can do whatever I want whenever I want to do. If I want to eat a hamburger, whenever I want to eat a hamburger, or if I want to go skydiving, or if I want to go on a plane and take a trip to let's say Mexico, or to Hawaii, or to let's say I want to take a trip to Chicago, Illinois, or Illinois, or I say I want to take a trip to Florida. He could do it at any time. But and I seen him take road trips. I seen him do all kinds of stuff to try to fulfill his to try to fulfill what he has. I mean, to try to fulfill and say, look, this is this is what I'm gonna do in my life. Spend my time traveling, because that's how it is. I mean, that's what he wanted. He wanted to travel. He bought houses. He bought everything he wanted. He has supposedly friends, which I've never seen a friend in any of his videos. And if I've seen people, it's just been in photos. But that's how it is. He said it's all there. But he said in one of the videos, he said, I am talking to older people, older than me. I relate with older people. I don't relate with people my age or younger than me. So that what scared me is that he said, this is something I'm going to repeat probably 2 times or a couple of times. That he said, I have everything I need in life. I can go to a store and buy my TV whenever I want, or I can buy an iPhone whenever I want, or I can buy let's say I can buy any car I want whenever I want, or I can go and have an expensive meal whenever I want, which sounds great. But in one of his videos, he said, I felt like committing suicide. I didn't want to live in this world anymore. This world is cruel. I don't want to live in this life anymore. I want to I want to pass away. I want to die. So, and then there was people like me that said, "No, no, dude." I said it. I made the video, and he kind of saw it, and he said, "Yes, I want to live that. I mean, I want to live another day because of you." So I can say I helped him not kill himself, not commit suicide. So I don't care if this video gets taken off, but I'm saying what I have to say. So that's where I said I gotta go to church. I gotta do something in my life. I'm just running around with nothing. And here, to prove that I'm following a doctrine, or I mean not a religion. I don't care about following religion. I'm following this. Here it is, the Holy Bible. This is what I'm reading, and I'll continue to read it, and I'll master it, and I'll see how well I can remember some stuff from the book, which I know some stuff. So don't think that it's just, oh, this guy is just talking dirty in his videos. I mean, in the podcast, as you guys could see before, I used to say, oh, screw this and F this, and I try to make it as explicit as possible. But the reason I made it as explicit as possible is because I thought I don't want to be this guy that makes everything sugarcoats everything and says it's going to be all fine everything's gonna be great. I'm gonna hide from the truth, and I'm gonna say stuff without it. No, I said I'm gonna say bad words, use vulgar language, use it, and prove that, and tell you how it is, straight up gruesome, nasty. And that's what the podcast used to be, all gruesome. And if you heard my last podcast, I didn't say, I didn't use bad language, and I told you what I had to say, even though it hurt, even if it hurt me to say it, because I've never put it in a video. I've never put how I feel in a video and showed you how how I feel. I never showed you. So I said, let me go to church. Let me get back. Let me learn something, because I I'm running out of ideas, or I'm running out of, I mean, not of ideas. I'm running out of, like, what's my purpose here, or what am I going to do on earth? I've been here for 27 years. What am I supposed to do? What is my purpose here? I'm just here saying, oh, I have a place to live. I have a car. I'm not saying I have a car that's, wow, 50, 60, $70,000. No. And like I've always said, I'm not here to show people and say, oh, look at what I have, and you don't have a house. You have an apartment, or you have a Volkswagen, because that's all you could afford, a Volkswagen, or that's all you could afford, a 2005 Honda Civic, or a 2005 Honda Accord, or a 2005 Toyota Camry. And that's not me. I've never been that way. I've never been the person to show off and say, I am going to prove that I have better stuff than you. No, I've always told you, because many of you have asked me, "Oh, why don't you do a tour of your home, or show me show me something, prove to me that prove to me something, or show people what you have." Um, no, and everything I have, I'm I just say, I'm it's like this. Thank you, God, that I have what I have. I'm not gonna say, oh, it's all me. I did it all myself. No. And let me say something that most of you don't know. My grandmother was religious. She was always religious, and she was the type of person that said, look, um, this is what she said. She used to be the type of person that would feed people, feed the homeless when she could, feed the homeless. While my father is not the same. I'll explain to you in some other, maybe in a bit, or in some other video. But let me explain to you this. My grandmother was religious, and every time I would go to her house, she would always be like, "Let's read the Bible, let's sing some songs," and most of the songs she would sing were maybe uh, little kid songs, and I was okay with that, because she used to be a teacher at her church, and she used to be the person to help the infants grow spiritually. Say, look, we're gonna read the book of, we're gonna read the story of Zacchaeus or something, but in Spanish, or we're gonna read the story of Jonah, Joan of Arc, or I mean, Noah's Ark. My bad. I don't know why I said. I meant to say Noah's Ark, but I meant to say I think it's Jonah. Jonah, the guy that disobeyed God, and he said, "I'm not going to preach." I remember that story. So you know, I know something of the Bible. It's not just something I watched on TV and said, I'm gonna follow it like that. No, this story, I don't know if it's Jonah. I think that's how you say his name. The guy that God said, "Oh, you're going to go and preach the word of God. You're gonna preach it." And he said, "No, I'm not going to preach it." So he went, and he got on his boat, and went somewhere out to sea, where the um, the whale, I think it was think it's a whale that ate him up for like three. I think it was like 3 days, and he hated it. He said, "It. I can't live here. It's all stinky inside this whale, or inside the whale." And then he was spit out, and he said, "I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna follow God's plan and go back to preach." And that's what he did. So I know some stuff of the story. I mean, I know some biblical stories, so you cannot say that, oh, it's he. This guy is pretending like he knows a lot. No, no, I'm not pretending. I know some of it, which I could go on and on about it, but that's not it. So, like I said, my grandmother told me stories. She read me stories. She said, I'm gonna instill this in you," and I never really cared. I never really cared. When I was growing up, I was like, I want to do my own thing, because many of these people, many of these religious people, were like, you can't listen to this kind of music. You're going to hell if you listen to this kind of music. You can't play, because I used to be the type of guy that had some friends that played video games, and they said, you can't play video games here. You can't be playing uh, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas or Vice City at the time. So I was like, I don't want it. I don't want religion. I don't want to read the Bible. I don't want anything. I don't want to do anything. I want to live my own life because I want to watch my movies, my violent movies. I want to watch uh, stabbings. I want to watch shootings. I want to watch all kinds of violent stuff on TV. So, like I said, that was my grandmother. She used to feed the homeless. She used to have sometimes um, service, like mini services at her home, when people used to come, and she said, "Look, you're not going to leave this house without having a coffee. You're not leaving this house without um, eating a cookie, having crackers, having you want to eat something? I can cook you some. Let's say I can cook you some enchiladas, or I can make you something. You can't. You're not just gonna leave. You're not coming to my home and leaving without eating." And people used to say, "No, I already ate." But she said, "Come on, at least get a water bottle. At least, get drink a coffee." And she was the type of person that used to help homeless people. She used to say, "Look, I'm not gonna give you money to you. What I'm gonna do is, if you're homeless, I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna get you a soda. I'm gonna get you some cookies, if there was no restaurant around. But if there was a restaurant around, she would say, "Look, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go buy you a hamburger. I'm gonna go buy you a burrito, and you're going to eat it. I'm not gonna give you money, because if I give you money, you're probably gonna use it for drugs or for alcohol." And that was her way of saying that she would help people, and she always helped people. And that is something I do have to say about her. So, like I said, I was born in church. I've been going for ever, and I didn't really care enough to say, "Oh, I'm," because like when I cared, sometimes when I would say, "Oh, I'm gonna do it this time. I'm gonna join. I'm gonna be bigger than I ever am or I ever was," and then like the people around just like didn't really care. Like I would go to church and just sit there, and no one would talk, no one would say anything, and you just go home. I'll repeat it again. I would go to church, and people would just see you, say, like only the people that really, really cared, they just said, "Hello, how's it going? How's your," and that was it. But nothing that say, nothing where you could say, "Oh, I want to know how you're doing. I really want to know like this. I really want to know how you're doing. I really want to know if I want to know more about you. And no, never. Like, to be honest, it was never that way. It was just like, oh, we have a new guy in our church. Nice. Just like, it's nice to see you. Now go home. Nice to see you. Go home. So that's why I said, that's why I said it sucks. I don't want to attend anything. I don't want anything. I don't want to follow any doctrine. I don't want to follow anything. I don't want anyone to care about me. I don't care. And every time someone would, because in high school, like I said, I always had this female, this girl that said, "Look, I want you to come to my church and I can help you." Because that's when I was in a place where it's like no one cared about me there. Like some people said, "Oh, I kind of care about you," but it wasn't the right people. It was just people that were doing their own thing of saying, "Oh, I'm a I'm a drug user. I'm a alcoholic person," and that was it. That was just it. It was just like, yeah, you want to be part of my group, and I would follow it. But in reality, I didn't really feel like I was part of it. Like back in high school, I said, hmm, I have these people that talk to me, but I don't feel that I'm part of it. I feel like I'm just there just because I'm there. But I wasn't like where I say, oh, I fit in. I fit in. Mm-mm. So like I said, getting back to the main story, getting back to the thing where I said, first off, I'm gonna before I get back to it, I'm gonna say my grandma passed away believing in the Lord Jesus Christ. And me, I I like I said, I went to church. I decided I want to try something. I want to give it another shot. And now that I'm going, I've met. Oh, because let me explain. So before I get back to the story of me going back to church, back in 2017, I got baptized. For those of you that don't know, I was baptized in Long Beach, away from the main beach at Rosie's Dog Park. For those of you that know the place, for those of you that have been there, you know what I'm talking about. So at Rosie's Dog Park is where I got baptized, and I did it because I don't even know how it happened. I don't remember how it all happened that I decided. I think I decided. I said I want to be baptized or something. I don't remember how it all happened. But before I think I was supposed to be baptized like um probably a year earlier or 2 years earlier, but I didn't get baptized because I got to the place late and the pastor couldn't baptize me anymore. He said it was too late or something, which sucked, and I didn't want to be baptized. And the majority of the time, I said I don't want to be baptized. I don't want to fall. I don't want to be baptized because look, I, I'm in my own world. I'm not living. I'm not living the Bible. I'm not reading the Bible. I'm not following and saying I believe in God. I just said, oh, I believe there's a God, and that was it. I just said I believe that there's a God up there, and that's all. I would always go with my life saying, oh, I believe that there's a God up there, and that's it. I never said, oh, he died for my sins. He's he he chose me to be the next leader. No, I just said he. I just said like this. I just said I believe there's a God, and that's it. I just put that in my mind. I believe there's a God. I believe there's a God, and that was it. And still listening to music that said that went against God and said, "Oh, screw God, and he's this, and he's a loser, and he's all this." So I said that's the reason why I didn't. And I thought it was cool because I said, "Oh my gosh, these guys are willing. They're using all their power to and all their strength to say God is trash and God is this and God is nobody and God is not as big as he has to. I mean, as big as people make him to be." So that's why I said I don't want to be baptized. I don't want to follow a. I don't want to be baptized because I'm doing my own thing. And I don't know what made me say, "Oh, I want to get baptized in 2017." But then after that, I still didn't. I still wanted to do my own thing until now. I went to church, and now I met a couple of young people that care. That say, "Look, I want you in the right path. I want to help you." And that's where I believe that there's. I believe I have something because look, I met this young female at the church, and you guys won't believe. You won't believe it. So this young kid at the church, this young female at the church that cares a lot about me, but it doesn't show like where it's gonna be like, "Oh wow, I want to be around you 24/7." No, it's just like when there's a free time, or there's a time where um it's a time where it's just a free time and we have a chance to be around each other. It's just like, good. I want to know more about you. Tell me. To be honest, right now my eyes are getting watery. the I'm cutting onions. Okay, so like I said, these people care about me more than I expected. And let me explain something. When I moved from my city to this place here, I said I don't want to move to another place that I don't know. I don't want to move to another place because if I move to another place, I I won't be able to go at the time I want to back to my favorite spots back in LA because I don't live in LA. Like I said, I live in the Inland Empire, which is completely different. Which is uh, um, it sucks. I don't want to. I don't really want to ever go back to LA. I'm not the type of person that says, "Oh, let's go to LA today. Let's go to LA tomorrow. Let's go to LA every single time." No, I'm like it's far, and based on traffic also is what uh uh it doesn't motivate me to go. So that's what I'm saying. So I met this chick, and I'm not giving you her age because then you guys are gonna say, "Oh, it's 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 a young it's a young girl." Yeah, it's young, but she's still an adult. At whatever age it's gonna be, whatever age I'm saying it's gonna be, it's gonna be. It's a young woman, and she's the type of person that came to me and said, "Look, I want to know more about you." Since the first day I went to her house, because I did, because it was part of this young people service where they say, "Oh, you, we want you to go." And since the first day, we connected. Not where I'm gonna say, "Oh, it's 100% that we're talking," and no, it's something that nobody else is gonna have. Uh, we're talking. No, yeah, I feel like this is something I want to say. I feel like she chose me to talk to over everyone else. Whereas like everyone else gets the same treatment I do, but I get an extra treatment where it's like um, Like if they're passing out, um, let's say she's passing out some coffee, or she's passing out some cookies or something. She asks. She always asks, um, "How did you like what I gave you?" And again, taking off my glasses to show that my eyes are getting watery again, because now I'm taking them off, whether it's something good or not. I'm taking them off so you could see my so you could see my feelings. So, like I said, I've never I never had someone like that in my life that said, I mean, as of the last couple of years, I never had that where it's like, oh, I care about you, and it's like I've seen signs, and I'm not going to say, oh, it's 100%. It's telling that she wants you. There's signs. There's signs that that pointing that she kind of wants something. She wants something. She's like, I want you for me, and that is where I'm saying I gotta follow God's plan. I gotta follow God's plan. And I'm taking this longer because I have to get it out. Like I said, I have to follow God's plan because if God, this is what I'm saying. If there's no God, let me say it like this. The reason I believe there's a God is because if I would have stayed in Montebello forever, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have had what I have now, or what I'm having now. Um, yeah, what I have now. Because if I would have stayed in Montebello and just gone to say I just go to church for no reason, uh, I'm just lost. I'm just following, going to church just because I want to see some of our friends, but these friends are all older people, 50, 60 years old. But the young people is like, oh, I got my own group here. Let's just talk here, and if this guy's not part of the group, who cares? That's how it used to be for me when I used to go to some churches where they said, "Oh, we have a group of 5 people. You figure out what you want to do. If you want to be part of a group, or if you want to be talking to other adults, or you want to live your life just doing nothing, eh, that's on you." So that is where I'm at right now. Where I said this girl has shown more to me in a couple of days than someone. Oh, then some place I've been for many years. And I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm pushing it. I want to be with you. No, I'm saying if it's what God wants, it'll happen. It's not something I get to decide and say, oh, I want you. I want you. No. Especially especially the way I know she wants something is because I showed her pictures of me when I got baptized back in 2017, and I had short hair, not this long hair that I have right now. Not this long hair, to be honest. It's not this long hair that I have right now. It's short hair. And when she saw it, she said, oh my gosh, you look cute right there. Um, um, what I'm gonna say is that I don't think a female would tell another guy, of you look cute there for no reason. It's like you don't say that. This is what I'm gonna say. You don't say that. I don't think a female's gonna go to a guy and say, "Oh, um, you look cute," and that's it. I mean, I don't, I don't see it that way. I don't see like, if you think it's different, that's fine. But if you see it, I mean, if you see it like that, and somebody says, "Oh, you're cute," um, that they tell you in your face, um, I'm gonna say it. I don't see it. I don't see what. I mean, I don't see it the same way that other people see it. That say, "Oh, a woman's gonna just go up to a guy and see a photo and say, "Oh, you look cute." I don't think. I don't think that that's it. I think when they say that, it means something bigger. But like I said, I'm I'm trying to be more holy and read the Bible and letting it happen, letting destiny happen, or God's plan. If that's what He wants, and He wants me to be with that person, or guide me through whatever disaster I have, then it's gonna happen. It's just that we don't know each other that well, so it's not like, oh, you met the person one day and now you're gonna be with them. That's pretty dumb. That's like rushing something that isn't, because if you rush it, and I've had many girlfriends and I've been with them for a while, and they've all left me. But I feel, now that I look back, it was never God's plan for me to be with any of them, to stay with them, to say, this is the person that's gonna change you. This is the person that's gonna have you go through. Because most of these females are all Catholics, and they're all their own drinking life, and many of them probably are the drinking life, and getting high and doing all these other things. And I'm not that way. Yes, I can admit that I've had a drink here and there, but it's just like, I had a drink. So what? I had a drink, and that was it. It's not like, oh, I had a drink. Now give me another drink after drinking my drink, and now give me another one. Give me another beer. Come on. No, I just been like, yeah, I've had one. I've had a Corona, or I've had a, I have this this I had gin or whatever, this clear, like straight up alcohol looking drink. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not that kind of person, and I said many times, I prayed it out, and I said, if this is what God wants, then it'll happen. If this is not what God wants, then it won't happen. But it's pointing like God pushed me in that direction. That said, look, you're gonna leave your old house for your new house, your new home, and you're gonna meet new people that are gonna care about you. So that's how it is. It's like I'm gonna tell them, it's it's God's plan, because my plan was different. My plan was to live in Montebello until the day that I died. I wasn't going anywhere. I was sticking with Montebello until the day God chose me to go to His presence. So I said, "That's all. That's all I'm gonna do. Stay here in this house till I die." That was my plan from the beginning. My plan was, I don't want to move to another city, because if I move to another city, then I have to know the streets all over again. I need to know. I need to reconfigure my brain to say, oh, um, um, I need to know where's the nearest. I need to go far away, I just want to be in my, I just wanted to be in my own Montebello bubble where I said, oh look, I know where's the 7-Eleven, I know where's the Target, I know where's the Best Buy, I know how to get to Walmart, I know how to get to CVS Pharmacy. I know I don't need no GPS. I don't need anything to direct me into. If I say I want to go to downtown LA, I know how to get to downtown LA so easily. I know how to get to. I know how to get to City of Commerce. I know how to get to Whittier. I know how to get to Downey. Come on. I know how to get to Lakewood. I know how to get to Cerritos. So that's why I said I'm in my own Montebello bubble where I said I'm gonna live in in this city. Never gonna leave. Gonna get to 80, 90 if I ever got to that age and live there until I died. That was me. That was my thought. But since I got shot at, or the house got shot at, we I'm the one that said I still didn't want to move. I said it happened once. It's not gonna happen again. Come on, it's just one time. It's not that's gonna happen every single day that they're going to be shooting and taking uh doing drive-bys. But the, but we had conversation about moving. I had I had conversation. So I moved, and that's where I'm at here. I had conversation with people saying, "Oh, don't move because if you move, you're gonna have it's gonna be worse. It's gonna be worse if you move. You're gonna move to a place where it's a lot worse." And I had plans of maybe going to live with family members in Colorado, or maybe going as far as moving to Texas or moving somewhere away from the West Coast, up to the East Coast or down to Florida. But I guess I was chosen to come here. And like I said, if if that is not God's plan or his his direction, if it's not if there's no God, then why am I here? That's what I'm saying. That's why I said I believe that there's God. I believe that there's a a God, because if there wasn't, he wouldn't have made me leave Montebello to this city and meet wonderful people at the church, and even meet people that care and want to know everything about me, thinking like I'm a new student at the school, and people want to know everything about you, where you come from, and know where your family's from, know this, know that. So that's all I have to say for now. And the other thing I do have to say really, really quick, because I'm just going to say it. I've been praying myself, saying if this girl is supposed to be my half, my other half, and I'm gonna say it, my shining light, or my star in the sky, which is the shining light, I guess, or it was brought from God, then there is a God. And and I said I want it to work. I'm just gonna pray it out and read the Bible until something gives. But I still have to say, I still have my old ways still that have to be removed from me. Where I still want to watch all this violent crap, and I still wanna live my old life, saying saying telling people F you and suck this and middle finger there, and all kinds of crazy stuff to people that get me mad or something. So that's where I'm like trying to fix it, trying to change. But every time that I fail, I always feel in me to cry and say, look, I failed. I said I was gonna change and I failed again. Why can't I why can't I be in the path that you want me to be in? So that's it. That's all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. So that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. And like I said, if this is the right place for me, and this is something that um is is God's plan, I'm gonna follow through it from the beginning to the end. From now on, I'll follow it. And that's about it. So thank you guys for watching. And as always, I'll catch you guys in another video.